We went to Shenandoah Acres Family Campground, and we're going to do a little campground review for you. This is in Virginia. So when you pull up, you basically go straight to the gate. You don't go to the check-in location like you normally would at other campgrounds. And if you look to the right, you'll notice that there's this whole fleet of little golf carts they have here. So they have multiple hosts that are sitting here like ready to go, waiting to get you like put in position. So the loop is on our right, and on our left is the pavilion with like the playground area. To the right is a tent camping, and we'll do a much more detailed kind of drive around. This is the Grove. This is one of the camping areas, and the Grove is on the left. The road in front of us takes you to the seasonal area, and those are the two dog runs on our right, and we'll go through like all of this. So we are going slightly downhill, and the farther you go toward the lake is in front of us and to the left, and the seasonals are to the right. Although the map looks like it ends here, it doesn't. Like that's all seasonal. The farther you go this way, the more progressively it's kind of graded downhill. So if you get a site like these ones that are next to us that are kind of tilted sideways, you have to realize that either your nose or the back of the trailer is going to have to be raised up. And then if you have a site like we get, which is the one on the end, you'll have to be a lot more extreme with the tilting, and instead of tilting side to side, it's like forward and back. So you can see there like how they have little yellow bricks. So this is the lake here. Those are the cottages. The lake is one of the big draws to this place. It's all sand, it's man-made, and they drain it in the wintertime, so it's kind of like cleaner water. It's not like just like water. That's the lake store there. There's a big slide thing, and there's some little square things in the middle that you can dive off. There's no rocks or anything like that really in the water. Like I said, it's all sand. Here's a view from inside the water looking at, that's me there in the orange, and Kimberly's operating the camera. And obviously we were here when it's not so busy. So this is our site, and once again we are on the edge of the Grove. And I know like perspective is pretty hard to tell, but if you look closely, like the block isn't actually underneath the jack for the trailer, so you know that that side of the trailer's way down. And then the back of it, I'm actually using these like 6-ton jack stands to get the back levelers to actually reach. So the back of the trailer for us is like extremely high up, and the front is extremely low. And like I was saying, if you're pointing in the other direction, then it would be the other way around. And it's like that for all the sites in this whole area. That none of them are really level, but that's just how it is at a lot of campgrounds. So us and a lot of other people had a little like collapsing step that we put on our steps to make it so you didn't have to kind of step so much to get in the trailer, and it's on this picture. So now we're going to go on a driving tour of the entire campground. So like I was saying, to the right is away from the lake. Over there is the woods on the right hand side. That's a monthly area. That big open green space is the distance between here and the lake. The lake is like right on the other side of those kind of rainbow colored cottages. The left, like I was saying, is a Grove, and to the right is a playgrounds. And some of these are actually really quite large. Like that right there is a Canyon Star 3927. It is like about a 40-foot Class A motorhome, and you can see that they even have space left over. Some of the sites are not anywhere near as big. The playgrounds seem very clean. Everything here seemed very extremely clean. Like they go around and like pick up trash, and like they have this like whole routine. Like on Mondays they go through and clean out all the fire pits. On Tuesdays they're out with like all the weed whackers. I kind of figured this out because I was here for 2 weeks, and I got to see the same thing kind of going on over and over again. The food truck there is a new thing, I think I heard. I don't know how long it's going to be there. The pavilion there, they did bingo on Fridays when I was here for the 2 weeks, on both Fridays. I don't know if they always do that. That little brown building is a gift shop where they sell t-shirts and stuff like that. So this is, like I said, is a main road. The little tiny building way up there in front of us is a camp store. They have firewood and ice and like kind of the normal stuff. They sell propane and everything, but it's a very basic store. You need to give them like $5 for a little plastic card so you can get in and out of the gate whenever you want. If you don't give them the $5 for the card, then they have to buzz you in, and that's only when they're around. So you know it would be inconvenient like 3 o'clock in the morning, obviously, if you had some reason to leave. So this is what they call the loop. Like that's this area, the camping area, and I do these videos mainly because when we go camping, you know, we take our Jeep all these different places. We basically want to be able to see the campground before we go so we can pick our sites out and stuff. And you can see some of these sites are very extremely large. So what I would recommend is, like, if that's what you're doing, get out a map, you know, go like get into the reservation system and you can see where all the different sites are, and then watch the video and you can start marking the ones that seem interested, that you seem interested in, because we were going to just drive through basically the whole campground and let you see a lot of the different sites. I'm not going to call out site numbers. If you're really interested in site numbers, like, you probably can see them on some of the different spots in the video. Like that one looked like it was R12. I don't know if that was actually the number. I thought there was another R. So the sites here at this campground feel a little bit like a national park, because everything seems really widely spaced out and there's lots of trees. Like, look at all the space there between those sites. Like, there's like a little forest almost between the sites. This isn't like like the average, like, kind of packed up commercial campground. And everything is super nice and clean. Now, this is the drive around that we did was on a off day. I don't remember what day of the week it was that we did the drive around. It probably was like a Thursday, if I had to take a guess, which is, you know, campgrounds like low days. And I can tell you, like, on Saturdays and Sundays, this place is packed. Like, every single site is taken. So it goes like most places where midweek, like, it's kind of dead and empty, and then you know, half, if not more than half, of the campground pulls in on Friday nights, and you can see all the space there. So we are pulling back up to the main road. So essentially, if you're trying to figure out where we're at on the map, since we've been driving around, the little building right in front of me is the entrance to the campground. To the left takes you out to the main road, and to the right takes you in. And there's going to be a little quick cut, like, but we're still kind of going in the same direction. You can see the building on our left, which is the pavilion. These are tent sites on our right. That's a tent loop, so I didn't really drive through because it was tents only. These are the dog runs right here. And now we're going to drive what appears to be off the map. And this is a seasonal area. There is a fishing area there. The seasonal area, we'll be driving through this for a minute or two. So if you don't care about the seasonal stuff, you can speed up. And that was one of our friends' campers we just passed. But I wanted to show off the seasonal area anyway. When we asked about the seasonal area here, they said they're at 100% capacity. And yeah, that was a Jeep we just passed. It kind of caught my eye. Anyway, they're at 100% capacity when we asked them about it. But they said that they normally have about a 10% turnover every year. So you just get your name on the list, and then usually, you know, some spots open up that for the following year. And they have a very, very wide seasonal camping area. It was like 2 or 3 months longer than what our seasonal was. And people, like, leave their campers on their sites like year round. And if you want to camp here in the off season, you pay them, like, I want to say it's a couple $100s a month or something like that if you really, really want to camp here in the middle of January or something like that in the snow. And you can do that. Where, like, at our seasonal place, you can't camp in this exact same spot, and they actually pull all the trailers out so they can do maintenance, like, of the sites. Where here, you see these, like, really immaculate looking campgrounds where people put a lot of time and effort, like, into their campsites, because, you know, their campers are kind of like permanently there. Now you can pull them out if you want to go somewhere, but from what I could tell, a lot of the people, like, in the seasonal area at least, don't do that. So we are now returning back to the Grove. So this is a Grove. There was a restrooms on the left, and we're going to make a right-hand turn. My camper is up here on the left. You'll see the Gladiator, and yeah, we have 2 Jeeps, like, right now. This is Kimberly's Grand Cherokee. So the Gladiator's right there on the left, like, with the little camper. You can see it, so you can get perspective. Again, that's a bathroom. The playground is in front of us. We're going to turn to the right. There's a cottages over there with a lake, and we're going to go to the woods. This is the monthly area. There's one more seasonal area that I did not film because when we drove around, I actually couldn't figure out how to get there. But we ended up going over there anyway, but I didn't have my camera with me at the time. So on the other side of this, kind of like in front of us, like in that direction over there, maybe you can see it through the trees, there is some more campers, and there is another seasonal area back there that's an even newer seasonal area. And from my understanding, they turn the water off in some of the places in the middle of winter, but I think the new seasonal area that's, like, back behind those houses or something, it's, like, back in that direction. I think the water back there is like year round because they put the pipes deeper or something like that. And yeah, that is a church there, a little gazebo thing, and they have a church ceremony over there. At least I did when I was there, and it was very popular, and a lot of people went over there because they wanted to do their church thing on Sundays, and I found that kind of interesting. And obviously that would, it's all optional. Like, you can do it if you want to do that. If you don't get into that, then sleep in or go party somewhere or whatever you want to do. But anyway, it was kind of nice that I thought that they had that kind of thing right there, kind of like on the side. And once again, we're back in our site.